Welcome to this edition of Believers Talk with Joe and Steve. We are your hosts. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And today we're going to talk about the potential of a new stadium.
Yeah.
One thing that was talked about at the owners' meeting was Buffalo possibly needing a new stadium. The one at New Era has been there for quite some time,
Yeah.
and so it's getting a little old. Steve, you're there a little bit more than I am, so I don't know if you want to talk about the conditions of the current stadium, how they look, or
Yeah, if you go to New Era Field
Mhm.
compared to like a lot of these newer stadiums, it's not really, up to standards
Right.
as far as like the seating,
Mhm.
the Wi-Fi and the entertainment. Now they have done some things over
Sure.
the past few years to
Mhm.
upgrade, but it's mostly been in the club boxes. I think
Mhm.
they're doing some more of that this year. They did add the second jumbotron on the opposite
Okay.
side, so that's nice.
Yeah.
You do sit a little closer than most fields.
Okay.
So that's a nice feel about New Era Field. But
Mhm.
as far as the appearance and the lackluster,
Right.
it's a little below some of the other ones. But these are billion-dollar stadiums being
Yeah,
built.
exactly.
And New Era Field is 45 years old.
Yeah.
So
It didn't cost that much.
yeah, there is some upkeep that needs to be done.
Yeah.
They did like redo a lot of the concession
Mm-hmm.
stands and a couple of the bathrooms. And I think they're just going to keep working on some of that stuff
Sure.
to make it, a little nicer. But yeah, it's an okay stadium.
Mhm.
It's a very nice environment. That's my favorite
Yeah,
part about
yeah.
it. So I'm not really saying that they need a new stadium.
Sure.
Sometimes it'd be nice to have a dome when you're sitting there and it's
Yeah,
freezing,
yeah.
but I understand the home field advantage
Right,
of
that
not
takes
having
away
a
from-
dome.
Yeah, that does take away a little bit from the home field advantage. So currently, the way it's structured is because you have contracts with stadiums too, which some people might not know.
Yeah.
Basically, so the Buffalo Bills are contracted in that stadium until 2023. That's when the lease runs out.
Yeah.
However, they do have an opt-out clause in 2020.
Okay.
Which was talked about a little bit at the ownership meeting. So Pegula made a statement originally saying that they were looking into it, and then the Bills made a statement on behalf of Terry Pegula kind of backing out, saying that we don't plan on leaving until after 2023 at least,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what happens after that. So, but the most current fixes that they did, I know there's a big word, I forget, but that they recently did, that Steve was talking about, just recently cost $19 million.
Yeah.
Renovations, that's the word I was looking for. Renovations just cost $19 million. And I was just recently reading an article, the next set of renovations would take 56 million or something like that. So the cost is getting up there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of hard because I think the NFL is really pushing for a new stadium.
Yes.
Because they want the more money, the more profit
Right.
coming in. Kind of like I like what Atlanta did
Mm-hmm.
as far as they built their stadium and then they have low concession stands.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
for me as a season ticket holder,
Mhm.
like I fear that if we get a new stadium, one, how are you going to set up your seats because I have good
Yeah.
seats now, and,
Right.
other people could,
Sure.
above me or something can grab those
Sure.
or switch it out, and plus the licensing for the tickets.
Yeah.
You have to pay a premium for your tickets
Right.
each year. I know a lot of other teams do that, so you're looking at a couple extra $1,000
Yeah.
coming out of your pocket to get a new
Yeah.
stadium.
Those prices would go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you would hope the Bills would be good at that time, so then
Mhm.
they can fill the stadium. Because
Right.
as of now, they have about a 72,000
Right.
capacity
Right.
at New Era
Mhm.
Field. It's a little smaller than
Small,
that,
right.
but that's still a good amount of people.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and they fill it pretty well. For now, Buffalo is a smaller market team
Yeah.
compared to other markets, and so yeah, there is talk about wanting to move the stadium to downtown Buffalo
Okay.
instead of where it is currently. There's a district I was reading about called the Cobblestone District. If you're from Buffalo and watching this, I'm sure you know all about it. It's about a block away from where the Sabres play. And the Pegulas just put up like this really nice hotel convention center there,
Yeah.
right? And so that was one of the nice places where they were thinking about putting a new stadium. Back in 2014, when Ralph Wilson died, they did a bunch of studies to show potential buyers where they can move the stadium to. And so the study has kind of already been done. It just needs to be revisited now that we're 3-4 years later, whatever it is. So that's kind of nice that we know there's a couple areas. One of the areas that they were talking about has since been built up, so they wouldn't go there. At least that's what the article said. I mean, I'm sure if they want to tear down buildings, they'll tear
Yeah.
down buildings, right?
I mean, they have enough money, and
Exactly.
the NFL loans some money out. The city of Buffalo,
Yeah, we'll be happy for that.
and then if you do the licensing,
Yeah,
for
like
the tickets. But yeah, the only thing I have the fear of them moving to downtown is then you're gonna lose some of that atmosphere that the Bills Mafia is known for, the crazy tailgating. Because you go to a lot of these other games. So I've been to some other stadiums, and they're not anywhere close to being like tailgate. It's basically you show up before the game, you watch the game, and you leave.
Right.
Bills fans have been notorious for tailgating and being out there from either Friday evening or Saturday morning, early Saturday morning tailgating throughout. So you would lose some of that, like the camper and RV lots, all that stuff, and traffic in and out might be a problem. So that's one thing that worries me. If they do move to a downtown location, how is it going to be getting in and out? Because as of now, you get it in and out of the stadium in about 2.5 hours. So after a game, depending on how the game plays out.
Then that's another issue. I mean, I've been to other stadiums as well. Talk about Heinz Field, talk about the Link, right? I don't call it the Link anymore, but whatever they call it, Wells Fargo, whatever. But anyway, I've been, and then you go to the new stadium in New Jersey, and I don't see nearly as many tailgaters and things like that out there. It will interfere with that kind of stuff, especially like you said, just with the traffic downtown. It's gonna be harder to maintain such things. But I did hear that the downtown Buffalo area is looking for a new convention center as is on top of the Bills Stadium. So there is a possibility that they could collaborate something together. But again, that does run into the tailgating.
And it would kind of be nice if you do have hotels all around.
Yep.
Because then you could just leave your car and then just walk to the game. Now, when I go to a game, I usually park in somebody's yard. It's a lot cheaper, and it's kind of nice. You walk around and everything like that. The one thing I forgot to mention too, when they did like a lot of the renovations, they did like a corporate building.
Okay.
And you used to be able to walk to the huge tunnel where all the players would come in and out.
Right.
And you could see all the players coming in and out all the time. But now you can't do that because that new building, they gated it all. So I would like something, if they do a new stadium, that where you have more kind of interaction with the players.
Yeah.
Because, I went down to Jacksonville, and after the game Jacksonville, you could see all the players coming out, getting on the bus. Some of them came up.
Cool.
Some other places, like Washington, you got to see the players coming in and out that I've been to. So it's kind of neat seeing that little bit of them.
I haven't been to the new era since they did the renovations, but back when I was there, you had a real kind of up close and personal view of the players. Like you get really close to them. So I would like that as well, just to be able to meet some of these guys that we entertain us every Sunday during football season, right? So get some autographs maybe and just talk, because I'm sure they'd like that interaction too sometimes. To know the fans. I mean, I just picture that scene as they were coming off the flight after we made the playoffs, like from Miami. I mean, that kind of stuff's just awesome. It's just awesome to me. So that interaction is really cool. But there are currently 2 sites that the Bills could look at. The one's the Cobblestone District. I didn't read too much about the other site, but wouldn't be downtown. So I'm not sure if anyone watching knows more about that site, you can let us know. But that's pretty much all I have. I'm personally just very excited that the Bills are staying in Buffalo. My heart stopped in 2014 when Ralph Wilson died, and we were like, oh no, what's going to happen to our Bills? So to know that we're staying in the Buffalo area just makes me happy.
I mean, it's a nice bonus knowing that they're staying in. I kind of am leaning towards, if we do get a new stadium, that it might be kind of like Jerry's World down in Dallas.
Right.
How he has like a strip mall and everything around his stadium. So maybe that's what the Pagula is going to look like.
Right.
To get it closer to their convention center and then have all the complexes all together. That's how it is in Philly.
Right. Yep.
So.
And that would help with parking a little bit more, as long
then
as
you
there's
use
not
all those
multiple
parking
events, but you
lots.
can use all those parking lots.
But that's something that we kind of got to keep an eye on. It'll be at least 2 years till they anything, and it'll most likely be till 2023, because even if they opt out in 2020, you're going to have to take a year or 2 to build a stadium.
Right.
So
that's part of it. Like in Buffalo, I mean, unless you use Buffalo University, which I don't think their field is nearly as big, but you don't have that space like you did in Minnesota. They went and played where the Gophers play for a while. I think Minnesota Stadium's a little bigger than University of Buffalo's, and so I don't think that's as much of an option for the Bills.
Well, I think Minnesota, they built at the same place that their old stadium was. Is
Yes,
that correct?
that's correct.
So they
Yeah,
had to
they
tear
had no
down their
choice, right.
stadium, and they had to be out of there so they
Right.
could build up their other one. So
Right.
this way they could play out
Mm-hmm.
the remainder of their games to whatever year they
Right. It was like a
have
year
it
or two.
dated
Yeah.
at, and play in New Era and then go somewhere else if they so choose. But you know, I like New Era Field as far as atmosphere and everything. Yes, it could use plenty of renovations,
right.
but it's still not a bad feel.
Okay.
Yeah, if they would go down, I'd kind of like to see like a nice complex.
Mm-hmm.
But then I worry about the pricing of everything else.
Right. Yeah.
And
Pricing would definitely go up in that situation. And that's a possibility for Buffalo too. I mean, we could definitely knock down this stadium and just build up from there. I don't know what that would mean for the team as far as where the team would go. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the University of Buffalo stadium's huge, and I just don't know. But I don't know what their options would be at that point. So maybe again, if you have a comment, if you know what would happen, or if you have an idea, let us know. But like Steve said, we won't know anything for sure for a little bit yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have 2 years guaranteed in New Era Field, and even if we decide to opt out, it only takes about 2 years to build a stadium, right? So, so we'll see what happens there. But that's all I wanted to update you on. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean they have to. It's not like the Pagulas are definitely going to move them,
Right.
or they're going to stay. Like they have to research it and
Yep.
figure out what's best for them, obviously,
Absolutely.
because it is a business.
Yep.
So they're going to do what makes them the most money and what they see financially best for them.
Right.
You know, if they want to spend the money on a stadium, then they go ahead and do that. And us as fans, we kind of have to go along with it
Exactly.
one way or the other.
Exactly.
And the Bills do go to St. John Fisher for camp, so
Yep.
maybe they use some of St. John Fisher
Right.
too. Like
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a good
I wouldn't
point.
say they would play there. That is
Right.
a smaller stadium, but
Mhm.
maybe they do some mini camps and
Yep.
stuff there.
Mhm.
So we'll see how
See
it
what
all
happens.
plays out. We
Exactly.
got a couple years, and
Yeah.
at least they're staying in Buffalo.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I'm just so happy to stay in Buffalo. And yeah, like, at what point do the renovations cost more than a $1 billion stadium? It's things like that that the Pagulas, luckily we don't, like the Pagulas have to think about. So so we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much all I had as far as the stadium. So if you are not already subscribed, subscribe to this channel. We'll give you all kinds of Bills content. We'll talk about stadium renovations. We'll talk about players. We'll talk about draft, combine, all of it. All of it's going to be right here on Believers Talk. Like us on Twitter and Facebook. There's a link on here as well. Comment, like, dislike this video. We're okay with it, and we'll happily talk back with you. If you do, I just want to wish you a happy Easter. Easter is tomorrow, so happy Easter. But until next time,
Go Bills.
go Bills.